This is Oilersnation Radio, your one-stop shop for everything Oilers. 1 hour of straight hockey talk with Bagged Milk, Tyler, Liam, Rick, and Dan starts now.
Liam's got a banana opening.
Fifth of the day.
Fifth?
Dude, there could be health risks associated with that.
Could be.
Did you chat GPT it?
Yeah, server Brett sent me a reply. While generally safe, eating an excessive amount of bananas can be problematic, especially for individuals with certain health conditions.
Why did you point at me?
You got that itis.
While a healthy person would need to consume a large quantity to reach dangerous potassium levels, it's important to be mindful of side effects like hyperkalemia, weight gain, and nutrient deficiencies.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about any of that. I gained weight a while ago.
I'm glad we used that supercharged Google search to find
How
that
many
out.
bananas can I eat before it's too many bananas?
Ask the monkeys.
I want a specific number. I
fine.
want a specific number. Let's see. The AIs will help us here, Liam. I want to make sure that you're safe.
It should be good.
As long as it's under 5.
Oh, sweet. That's what it says?
It says, it says, okay, if you're asking for a specific number, I'll give you one, but the number varies for everybody depending on blah, 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 like Tyler said. However, because you asked for a specific number, I will suggest that one should not consume any more than 12 bananas in a single sitting, which could be too much based on a number of metrics.
Okay, so we're chilling.
You haven't even done a single sitting. This is how many sittings?
As far as I see, you are well in the clear.
I moved. I went from upstairs to downstairs.
Okay.
I'm fine.
You got another 6 in you, 7 in you.
If you eat 13,
then
you're good.
12's the max.
That shouldn't be a problem. Tonight won't be stress-free.
Maybe keep it to 11.
Stress-free. I never like to double my digits. 9's good.
All right, 9. We're safe.
Liam's going to do the 60 and 60 and 60 challenge tonight.
60 bananas.
60 beers, 60 bananas in 60 minutes of hockey.
In other news, we're planning Liam's funeral and you're all invited.
Banana bread beer, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Let's get to the delicious debate for our friends at Odd Company. Speaking of beers, I'd love one. Can't wait to have one. I'm going to get out of here, go to my house, pop my jersey on, and drink Nation beers until my ride comes.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect for the next big game. Next go-to lager. Find it at Odd Company at either of their Edmonton locations or at liquorconnect.com. Nation Beer Everyday Lager is available right now. I am on delicious debate duty today, and I'm just making it obvious. What is the most obvious defensive change the Oilers need to make in Game 3? Now, you could go people. You could go tactics. You could go people and tactics. You could go something else. Tyler, I want to start with you.
I'll say just efficiently moving the puck out of their own end. You look back to a couple of the goals that stand out to me. That Bouchard turnover in Game 1. If he just efficiently knocks it around the boards to where McDavid's skating, they're up and out of the zone. You can look at the one where Bouchard either could have rimmed it one way or Darnell Nurse could have closed off his man and picked up the puck that was intended for him. They both messed up on that. The play where Darnell Nurse didn't touch the puck and then stood still and just kind of hoped it would magically score past Three Kings. The point is, a lot of their issues stem back to just not getting the puck out of the zone efficiently enough. So again, the Kings are going to dump pucks in. They're going to give you opportunities to regain possession. You just need to be more efficient getting the puck out of your net.
Nation down
or your end.
Specific defensively.
Oh man, it's I think the answer, I guess it's getting the puck out in stupid, simple ways. Even if that means a giveaway in the neutral zone, I'm okay with that more than I want to see giveaways. I guess I want to just see more physicality too. I'd like to see the Kings forwards just regretting coming into the zone sometime. Like, I don't know. I'm just a simple man. I just want simple outs and some physicality.
There's something sexy about an off the glass and out when you need.
Yeah.
Liam, what do you got?
Kind of that, to be honest. I just think they seem to be very afraid of just getting the puck out. To put it simply, like they just, sometimes it's okay just to chip it up as high as you can and lob it into the neutral zone or just slightly into their zone and take a change and reload and go again.
So we talked about that with Steve Peters yesterday on the show, the former Arizona Coyotes video coach. And he was saying like Edmonton's so focused on holding on to possession of the puck, which is like smart in some regards. But part of the reason I think this series hasn't gone the Oilers' way is because the Kings have played a style of hockey that is like, we're not going to make mistakes. We're just going to stay in our little bubble and we're going to wait for you to make the mistakes.
Yeah.
And if you just chip the puck out to center, sure, maybe you're giving up possession, but if you chip it out to center and then skate after it, you might catch the Kings making a mistake.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm looking for from them tonight. It's probably a bit more communication too. I think that'd be a good one. Obviously, the one the other day where Bouchard thought he was putting on McDavid's step and put it on, wasn't it, Dano or whoever that was, Kempe? And then obviously the other one too, when Nurse was just flying at the boards for whatever reason. There was no one there, like, and even Bouchard not taking away the pass. Like, whichever mistake you want to look at, I think a bit of conversation between the players would have probably helped that situation a bit more. So just act like you've played together before. I know obviously there's been a lot of guys out and the lineup's been so random is probably a good way to put it, but like you still know each other. Like, this isn't game 5, 6 of the season. This is game 3 of the playoffs. Like, you should have an understanding of where you need to be and everything. And the other thing too, like, I think, because the question was defensive changes, right? Like, and I know we'll get into the lines later, but I would have more familiar pairings on the blue line as well.
I think I'm going to just kind of, to put a bow on it, Dan made a point about getting the puck out. And I think part of that is let's avoid the slot trying to get the puck out. How about let's not rip it right in front of the net? Even if you think there's an option there, let's just not do that. Now, I know that's easier said than done sometimes. The game moves fast and it's slower on TV, but I think that's a general practice they should adopt of not trying to clear the puck through the slot / middle of the ice.
To be honest though, I think it's just as easy as it is said done. How many times have you seen the LA Kings put it over the middle of the ice? Like, I can't think of an occasion.
Well, there you go.
To be honest, like, if the other team's finding a way to do it, you should be able to, because
I agree.
I don't think the Kings blue line is anything special.
No.
They've got good players, don't get me wrong. Like, their top 4 is solid. They've proven to be very good so far in this series, but I don't think the Oilers have forced LA to do anything bad. Even the goals Edmonton has scored, they have worked their asses off to get those goals.
Well, that's part of it too, is it feels like Edmonton has to have so much go their way and they have to have the puck for so long to get a dangerous scoring chance, and they're barely getting any, versus the Kings. It's just like, whoop, Edmonton gives them one and it's a wide open look and it's in the back of the net. Yeah, frustrating.
Let's keep the puck out of the middle of the ice in our own zone. Why not that? Protect the middle of the house. I also think just defensively, I think the Oilers are losing their position on the board side of the puck too much. They're not between the opposing player and the net enough. They're getting beat inside or outside or whatever, and they find themselves on the outside looking in, and that's no bueno either.
And obviously we'll get into the goalie stuff too, but yesterday after game 2, I went and looked at, outside of the goals that were scored, because we can all remember all the goals were scored on both ends of the ice, like how many times the Oilers were given like a quality scoring chance on the Kings, and it was basically 1. Like, the other ones I kind of just threw in. Like, obviously the Hyman one on the power play, I would say that was a quality chance. Obviously right in front, Kemper made a good save. There was a Brown short-handed attempt, but kind of flubbed on the puck. I don't think he got a full shot. And then the other 2 were difficult-ish shots from the point, which were just more fumbled by Kemper, maybe a little higher than expected, and actually like quality chances. And then I think it was with 8 minutes left, Kane finally was given some space to get into the middle of the ice, and he had 4 Kings just around him and everyone was on top of him already. Where Edmonton basically gift wrapped, I would say at least 4 of those goals the Kings got the other day. And the opportunities they're being given by our blue liners and forwards too, I suppose, is quite frankly unacceptable for most Bantam teams, never mind an NHL team.
Well, I was going to say, like, if you took that Kane look, which again, we went through this all and it was like, okay, that's probably the spot where the Oilers were closest to the net with the most space to create a potential goal. If you had to rank that in terms of where it was and how much space he was given, if you were to rank that with the Kings ones, there's 5 opportunities with more that the Kings had.
All of their goals, they had more time and space, for sure. It's kind of crazy. I can't believe how far they've just fallen off a cliff.
This is not in the defensive zone, but I guess it kind of is. Kill a penalty.
That'll help.
That'll help big time.
Stay on your feet while you're killing penalties.
Big time.
Daryl.
maybe along the lines of penalties, don't get sucked into the Kings bullshit. Like I think Adam Henrique, like you got looped into it last game and you got tagged for the penalty.
I think that was a big frustration penalty from him as well. Because I
100%.
don't know if you guys noticed, but not long after he started doing it again and almost took a second one. It's like, buddy, like you're struggling to have any kind of impact on this game. Your impact shouldn't be you setting the box and him scoring.
Yes.
So it's disappointing to see what he's done, which is essentially nothing.
Let's look ahead at game 3 a little bit further, but I want to tell you about our friends at Oodle Noodle. Download the Oodle Noodle app, the Apple Store and in the Google Play Store. You can get points that'll earn you a free Oodle Noodle. Maybe you're like Tyler, you love a Tokyo glaze. Why not get a free Tokyo glaze by signing up for the Oodle Noodle app? Again, available in the Apple Store and in the Google Play Store. Looking ahead at tonight, the big story, obviously, our pal Cal getting the start. Liam, right move, wrong move, too early, right move?
I think it was a more questionable decision beforehand than I think maybe people wanted to give it. Like, as much as Stu has been bad, like allowing 12 goals in 2 games, obviously not good for any goalie. And as much as the blue line has been bad, you probably had to. You're like, feels like your final straw. Because if this goes wrong, what are you going to do? Go back to the guy that has lost you the 2 other games? Like, just seems like a really tough one. But then again, if you don't start him and he does do bad, then you are also out of options. So probably the right move, I guess. And Pickard, to his credit, with Stu out, did pretty well. Besides the one game he got lit up for 5 against the Kings. But that lineup was very depleted. So it is what it is.
The only thing that makes this interesting, like I agree, if they were to lose this game 2-1 and Pickard plays great, allows 2, I mean, who gives a shit what you do on Sunday night?
Yeah.
What'll be interesting is like, what if it's a barn burner? Like, let's walk down that path. Oilers win 7-5.
Hell yeah.
Who do you start Sunday?
The winning goalie.
I think you go back to Skinner. That's why I think that this is the only move that the current year Edmonton Oilers iteration could make with the way that they've just kind of played this goaltending tandem the whole year. Yeah. To me, Pickard is, and I've been saying this on like any show that'll have me on, he is the best, just pure backup you could want to have on your team because he's not a starter whatsoever. I don't think has a chance to be an aspiration of that. But he's great in spot duty. So he comes in and like you said, if he loses tonight, who cares who starts on Sunday? It's probably Stuart Skinner. If he wins tonight, sure, you've reset the goalie tandem, but you've also maybe reset this team too. And I think that any fan watching the game that isn't just looking to be right at the end of an argument, can look at those 2 games and not blame those on Stuart Skinner, but also accept the fact that he just can't stop a beach ball right at this moment. And so change it up, get somebody else in front of him. Now maybe the team plays better in front of him for the first 2 periods and Pickard can actually set his feet underneath him and we can have an actual hockey game.
Tyler, were you surprised? I wasn't surprised.
0. Like I was surprised that there were some people who were surprised. I was like, you can't go to the same goalie who gave up 12 goals in 2 games. Like, doesn't matter how many of them you view as this great or that great or expected this, expected that. Need a win. Skinner isn't giving you a chance to win. So you go to Pickard. And listen, Calvin Pickard, to his credit, played really, really good hockey down the stretch. Like that last game against the Kings, that one sucked because it really cratered his numbers. But like outside of that, Calvin Pickard was excellent down the stretch. So I have no problem going with picks. And like we're somewhat having the conversation before of like, do you start Calvin Pickard game 1 because Skinner was out of the lineup and Pickard had stepped up and played well? So like the regular season finale was on the 17th. Their final game against LA was on the 15th. So if we take that game out again, where he got kind of lit up, Pickard was good. I want to find the numbers.
I think like just while you're looking for the numbers, it's Stuart Skinner hasn't been great. You know, everybody knows it. Team in front of him also has been putrid defensively. Those things kind of go hand in hand. At some point, you could have the best goalie on earth, but if you're giving so many good looks, they're going to go in. Like we saw Hellbuck got lit up last night, and I think everybody would kind of, agree that he is a Vezina finalist, if not winner again. It happens. But unfortunately for Stu, it's happened too much.
So from February 1 to April 13th, each goalie played 16 games. Calvin Pickard had a 903 and a 286. Stuart Skinner had an 873 and a 334. I mean, If the Oilers get 903-286 from now till the end of the series, they're going to win the series.
It all comes down to the guy in front. To me, it's so irrelevant who's in net. When you're like Woodley had this on Greggy yesterday, expected save percentage for the Oilers is .872. Doesn't matter who you're putting in. Like clearly the chances are
872. I dream of those numbers.
Well, and like
Kempasori was a 902,
sorry,
which shows me that they are not doing anything offensively either.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it. It's just like you could have Patrick Waugh out there if the Edmonton Oilers are not playing
Current
a good complete or past in his prime, either or. I don't think that it would go well for him just because this team is not playing a good game of hockey. They go down to the other end of the ice and it's either one and done or it's flamed out before it's even started and they're coming back at you and it's going to be a grade A chance or a grade B chance from you every single time. It's an onslaught and it's frustrating as fans to watch it, but it's also got to be frustrating to try and be the netminder there. Yeah. And so you go out and you play 2 piss poor periods against the LA Kings tonight. Pickard's going to get shelled too. And are we going to blame Pickard? I don't think so.
Let's talk about the other end of the ice. Oilers, outside of the third period in game 1, have been pretty inconsistent offensively. Tyler, what's the adjustment you make on the other end of the rink?
Got to go to the net. Like we had Dubnyk on Wednesday and he was a teammate of Darcy Kemper's.
He's been great, by the way.
Yeah, he's awesome. Pre and post game shows. Ask Doobie, episode 1's out now. And he was like, I was teammates with Kemper. He has a temper. Kemper. He's like, you can rattle him and get in his head. And yet the Oilers just don't go hard to the net. They don't get traffic. Look at where their goals were in game 1. McDavid goal aside and Draisaitl goal, I guess. But those other 3, Perry right on the side of the net, Hyman, blue paint, Janmark jamming in the blue paint. Yeah, Arvidsson goal goes to the net. And yet we aren't seeing enough of that. So they got to do a better job of going to the net.
Dan?
I just want to see consistency. I would love to see Knoblauch come out and be like, you know what? Tonight, I'm not putting McDavid and Draisaitl together unless it's on the power play. And just stick with that for the whole game and let the offense cook. Because I think that this team, when given an opportunity and given some leash, will be able to do some stuff with it. I just think that there's too much changing, too much tweaking going on already. And it's 2 games into the playoffs. I would like to see some consistency for these guys.
Liam, offensive side of the puck. What do they need to improve?
You really need something from that second line, whoever it is. Like tonight, obviously it's Podkolzin and Nugent-Hopkins, which has been fairly decent when they've been given the opportunity. I think that's the biggest area outside of what was already said. Like if you are going Nugent McDavid, that would make you believe that other guys are going. It just doesn't feel that way at all. Like they have had goals from technically their fourth line in back-to-back games, which is good, but the Nuge factor of this has to show up.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my piece.
I think too, like on the offensive side is they're getting a lot of shots right now. Well, they're not getting a lot of shots. They are getting shots that Kemper can see. And when they're getting in his face, like you said, Tyler, about the Arvidsson goal, they're creating secondary opportunities. So the big thing for me is get to the net and create some chaos. Mm-hmm. Ryan Smith could barely shoot the puck. But he scored a pile of goals by being right in front of the net, getting to the greasy areas. Thomas Holmstrom was just as good in the same era. Mm-hmm. The Oilers need to embrace a little bit of that Smitty energy and get to the hard areas of the ice.
Which, talking about guys who I'd love to see play better, Earth to Zach Hyman.
Yes.
Well, you could pick like Nuge needs to be better. That line has been invisible. Yeah. Hyman, same thing. We need a lot of guys to step up. Anything else offensively before we move along? Got new line combos to discuss.
I think Hyman's still hurt. That's my theory.
I would bet it.
And there was this clip the other day in game 1 where he was like battling to the net with Drew Doughty. And he just didn't seem like he was able to do it on his own. And I wonder if that's why they put Corey Perry there for that little bit there the last game and the end of the one before, just because he is obviously healthier, you would assume.
And playing better.
Yeah. So tonight, Hyman's got to be a factor.
Looking at the line combos, this courtesy of Bob Stauffer. Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman. Podkolzin, Nuge, Arvidsson. Kane, Henrik, Brown. Not super keen on that.
Should
line.
be.
Okay, get to that in a second. Then we got Frederick, Janmark, Perry, Your healthy scratches up front are Skinner, Jones, Ryan Kapanen. The D's are Klingberg, Bouchard, Nurse, Emberson, Kulak, Wallman, though Knoblauch told Tony Burr not to put too much stock into the defensive pairings.
I think they only put that D pairing together because they plan on using it in like some ozone situations. Like you get the other team off an icing where you know you're either going to win the draw and have them hemmed in, or LA is going to win the draw and just chip it out and you can get a change in anyways. I think they just wanted to give them some reps together to get some amount of feel, and they're only going to use it in the ozone. I'd be stunned if they played a lot together.
I have a different theory.
Go ahead.
They saw it in practice and were like, oh my goodness, this is scary. And we're not doing this.
Or they did it as a way to send a message to the forwards. And we're like, we're starting Pickard and we're playing Klingberg and Bouchard on a pairing. You guys better be fucking dialed in tonight.
That is the chaos pairing.
Yeah.
That's the chaos pairing. Any other notes on forwards or D?
Forward line 3.
Yeah, tell me. Kane, Henrik, Brown.
I can't believe you don't remember this.
Or Kane, Henrik, Brown. Go ahead.
That was the line that was together when Connor Brown scored his first goal as an Oiler. Wow. That was the trio.
We were there together.
We were there. One of our top moments together.
It was. Inside of... Never mind. Wink.
I would say that is why I believe in that line. They have played together a little bit, and obviously not this season, but last season.
Let's talk about Evander Kane. First game in almost a calendar year. What did you think?
Thought he was fine.
By the way, I just want to start off the penalty he took. Some people were pissed off about it.
It's not his fault.
Kid turned right on the boards. What is he supposed to do?
I hate Brent Clark.
Yes.
I hate him. He's on my list.
Is he?
Oh, 1,000,000%. I've never seen someone cry so much on the ice and do pretty much nothing about it. Like, God, that guy pisses me off. Him. The Kane one, very unfortunate. He turned, like you said, right at the last second. I don't think that was very fair. I thought Kane played well.
Mm-hmm.
He had some chances. He was using his body. You couldn't really ask for much more from him. I think obviously a goal would have been great, but I'm actually excited to see him tonight. I think he can really play a factor.
Dan, Kane?
Yeah, I admittedly was pleasantly surprised at how not banged up he looked.
Yeah.
I really feel like, and I agree with you more about the Hyman thing than I want to admit, the Hyman possible injury there. Yeah, I just think that there's a lot of players on this team that are playing at less than 90%, and that sucks to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I hate watching it. And yeah, I think he's back. Hopefully he can get a little bit more offense, just kind of that guy. He was that guy that would just fire from friggin' everywhere, and hope that comes back. I think the whole team needs that though.
I think that's part of the timing thing too, that he's kind of like trying to battle as he gets back into the NHL at 9,000 miles an hour. I noticed the puck on his stick a little bit where he was bobbling it a little bit more than he probably normally would. And I think that's just the speed of the game catching up to him as he tries to
practice as much as you want, right?
100%. What do you think, Kane?
Yeah, I thought he was fine. Some okay moments. I love the physicality. He was going out of his way to hit guys and make them feel uncomfortable. So I like that. Agree. Penalty was kind of a little chintzy and was just a guy who wanted to go out there and hit or get a piece of anything or anyone that moved. So yeah, good first game. Hopefully he's got more in the tank tonight. 14:46,
19 shifts for Kane in his first game back. He had the one shot and 4 hits. I actually think the 4 hits seems light, because he was trying to hit everybody that was moving. So more of that.
Does a hit count if you take a penalty?
Honestly, I don't know when a hit does or doesn't count.
I think they do from my memory. Serving. I used to do NHL play-by-play as a shift.
Wow.
Couple of quotes I want to get to you. This one was post-game from Corey Perry. The Kings protected home ice. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. You protect home ice. We came here to steal a game. Didn't happen. Now we have to go home and protect our ice. Tyler, you've said plenty of times you're only in trouble when you lose on home ice. How much do you believe that?
A lot. I mean, listen, if all the Oilers do is win home games, we'll get a coin flip game 7 between these two teams. I'll take that right now. Like, you're down 2-0. If you were to tell any Oilers fan, hey, you're going to be playing a game 7 in LA, if you were to ask any guy on the Oilers, they'd be like, that is a great scenario. We will take that. So just keep winning your home games and you're okay. The flip side of that is you also need to, you can't just walk into this one if you're the Oilers being like, we're on home ice. We're going to win now. Mm-hmm. You need to play well. You need to do the old cliche 1 game at a time thing and all of that. But no, yeah, I'm like reasonably confident that they're going to take care of business tonight.
They got 3 of the next 4 games are at home. They got
That's
an
big.
opportunity. It's huge. They got an opportunity here. Real big opportunity. And if you're going to the game tonight, or if you're not, let's get some car flags out. Let's get some jerseys out. Let's make some noise. Get a little weird. I want to see some costumes at Rogers Place tonight.
Harmonicas?
Kazoos.
I want to go Vuvuzelas is what I've been pitching.
Vuvuzelas.
Yeah.
Do we think
South Africa?
Do we think that the Oilers are going to try and do anything with the
I don't think
anthems?
so.
No.
I think they've got their anthem thing.
They got the Rob Clark in the
Rob Clark
crowd.
will be in the crowd again.
Yeah.
We'll have a good time.
Just do something with the American anthem.
Boo.
Well, something more unique as an organization.
You know that's coming anyway.
Bobby Boudou. Or, yeah.
Other quote I want to ask you guys about is from Darnell Nurse.
Oh, Daryl.
We haven't played to the standard or level we're capable of playing at, agreed, to a man or as a group. We are a pissed off group right now. You like the Oilers being a little mad, a little sassy? I hope so.
I don't know. I just want them to be focused and dialed. That's the only emotions I really care for them to have at the moment. They can be pissed off all they want. I'm sure they were pissed off after game 2 and they still got smoked.
I just envision that meme of the guy staring angrily at the mirror saying that. I mean, yes, I hope that you're pissed off, but I hope you know exactly who you can be pissed off at. It's
Yeah.
yourself.
It would be nice. Like, I think Dan said it right. Like a bit more physicality in the D zone. Like Jason Demers said it today as well. Just like on the penalty kill, like it's just so easy, like for the Kings to get into the zone.
Yep.
Like you don't even have to throw a body, but like even a stick is being physical, right? Like just like
Get
get
in
a
their
little
kitchen.
bit of chaos, good chaos. They're causing too much bad chaos.
Special teams.
It's special, all right.
Kings are running at 50%. They got 5 goals on 10. The Oilers are 0 for 5, Tyler. What's going on with the special teams?
I mean, they're having a real hard time combating this 5 forward look on the LA Kings. There's a forward behind the net, which is, I think, just causing them to lose track of one guy and then get super scrambly. So the penalty kill needs to be way better. I would hope after a couple games of watching, they have a general idea of some adjustments that they should make on this Kings team. On the power play too, though, like I feel like everyone's ripping the penalty kill. Power play has not scored yet.
Power play looks bad.
This power play is supposed to be a major strength of this team, and it is a 0. Big part of the reason they beat the Kings in 5 last year. So, yeah, I'm just as angry with the power play.
Is Draisaitl a shot on the power play?
I can check.
I can't think of like one moment.
I think early in game 1, maybe.
Okay. But like
Maybe.
you have to think about it,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
there's usually a moment where you're like, oh yeah, he got down on one knee there
Shot,
and hit the
yeah.
outside of the post of whatever he ended up doing. Power play is it's been bad. Like the Oilers, like I know the penalty kill was good last season in the playoffs, but like historically, we're not exactly the most glamorous on there, are we? Like we never finished top 5 in the NHL. Like, the power play has been always able to counter or at least match what the other power play did. And the fact that like we're sitting here talking about how crazy this Kings power play is, and like you look at it, I don't even think they're doing anything that insane, to be honest. They're shooting pucks off the back wall, letting them rebound down. They're having Kuzmenko stand on that back post, and they're just firing pucks right across to him. Like you haven't reinvented the wheel here.
You know what's speaking of Kuzmenko at that far post, like, you know what we haven't seen for a while? Is Zach Hyman making the net 2.5 feet wider.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that in a while.
Draisaitl has 2, by the way.
Power play shots?
2 shots on 3 attempts. He's the only Oiler to have 3 shot attempts with the man advantage.
So that's good, right?
Yeah.
Would you go 5 forwards?
I don't think
Or is
so.
Bouchard essentially
Bouchard's
forward
essentially a
anymore?
forward.
Yeah, I think the Kings do that because they don't have, like, I know Doughty's obviously Doughty, but he's not the same guy. Like Brent Clark, I don't think is good enough. Jordan Spence as well. And then the other guys are obviously just more defensive players. Like,
I think it's a good chaos move by them, by the Kings.
But
they're a team that's like, you think of them as like structure and just staunch, and like they're top to bottom. Nobody is a superstar. Everybody knows their role, but yet they come up against the Oilers and we're just like, we don't even know how to deal with it. We don't know how to handle it.
which is alarming.
It's not great. It doesn't feel good. It feels like this was made for us to be our issue, that other teams won't have this struggle with a 5 forward power play.
The way to get out of it is just stay out of the box.
Yeah.
That's the easy one.
The counter to it as well is And I guess this isn't too bad because the power play has sucked. But like, if the Oilers aren't going to the box, that probably means the Kings aren't going to the box too. But then again, 5-5, and then the Oilers can win this series.
But did we not create a team that is? I guess I just think of like the Kane, the Frederic, the Janmark, the Nurse, where we are the team that should be not pushed around. We are the team that should be able to engage physically and not take penalties.
Part of the reason why they got rid of a bunch of young guys and got a bunch of vets this summer is like, oh yeah, like we're going to be a tough team to play against in the playoffs. And like, so far, all those vets have done is take stupid penalties.
Yeah.
Also, I look at the Kings and like, they're not even that physical.
No.
They're really not. Like Joel Edmondson, I've seen him have like one kind of scenario where he was on the ice with McDavid and he probably could have given McDavid an extra shot and he didn't.
Yeah.
The guy's being the most physical.
Don't know.
I was going to say Byfield.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Even Fiala, like he's done a little bit of just being like greasy, but like the rest of them, they seem to have, I feel like the penalties they're taken, and I know there've been a few missed, but like they're not them doing something stupid. It's like call with a high stick or tripping.
It's not self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah. Where the Oilers, it's like, oh, we got Adam Henrique here ripping Byfield's helmet off.
Yeah.
They just got it. Discipline. It's a big one.
Couple more things before we move on to Ask the Idiots. Any surprise Jeff Skinner still healthy scratched?
Surprised? Not the right word.
He didn't play well in game one. Someone had to come out. I think there's a part of me that's like, oh, you could probably swap him for Connor Brown, but then you lose a penalty killer. So like you need to have some penalty killers.
We all thought it was going to be him and it turned out to be him.
I thought Frederic, but I was wrong.
The Frederic thing is so interesting because he's clearly a kid.
Yes. Yes.
So do you take him out and swallow your pride? Hope that the series gets extended, he can come back? Or do you just know it's not going to get better and just try and hope he can just get that adrenaline and play through it? I think the first option might be the one because I don't think he's like that much of a liability either. It's such a hard, I really don't know what the answer is. Jeff Skinner, you kind of have to have him in your top six because he's not good enough his style isn't good enough for the bottom.
Alternate theory. 13-5. Nobody's doing it.
Hey, we did 12-5. Josh Brown did play, but it was basically 12-5.
13-5. Nobody's doing it.
It feels like to me,
the Kings are basically doing 9-5. Anyways,
I feel like to me, when you're looking at an injured player like a guy like Frederic, you're demanding one kind of aspect of his game, which is his physicality, and expecting him to do that whilst being hurt. We've already done this experiment with Evander Kane, playing him on, one leg and all the painkillers in the world last year. I just think that the mature decision is to sit a guy like that and maybe, like Liam said, in round 2, you've got that energy that you can punch into the lineup all of a sudden and get excited about. But forcing these guys to play at 70% and 75% when they are clearly hurting like that, it's frustrating as a fan.
Finally, courtesy of our friend Frank Saravalli over at Daily Faceoff, a couple of old friends could be in the running for the job in New York. Ken Holland and Peter Chiarelli listed as possible options for the Islanders job, and I couldn't think of two better names.
I endorse both wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I'm 100%. In. And I would recommend a 1-for-1 trade. Ryan Pulock for
Adam Henrique.
Sure. Yeah, Henry, he's been good this playoffs.
Skinner for Sorokin. Both need to change the scenery.
Yeah, I would agree. The trade is 2 for 2.
Something to think about. Anyway, it's time for Ask the Idiots. I want to tell you, Greta is our home for the playoffs. I was down there on Monday and Wednesday. We had a good time despite the circumstances. Raffle was great. Aaron did a great job hosting, raising some money for the Ben Stelter Foundation. If you're looking for a spot to be, why not join us at Greta? Kennedy's got a pop-up shop going on tonight. If you want some Nation gear, you don't want to pay for shipping, go see Kennedy tonight. Get yourself some gear, get yourself some threads, hang out with the squad. You're going to have a good time. All right. 3 questions. Ask the Idiots. Of course, if you know the bit. Boys haven't seen these. I'm going to get their first take on everything. 2 questions about the Oilers. 1 about the NFL draft.
Oh.
First up, Liam, you're up. Is the fan base overreacting to these 2 first losses, or do you think the reaction makes sense given how poorly the Oilers played?
Yeah, I think it's fair. I mean, he's not exactly shown much positivity. I think the reaction, I will say, has been maybe a slight overreaction to how much of this is at fault of the goaltending. I think that if you watch the goals back, for sure, there's always the one that you're like, I wish you would have saved that. But when the one you want him to save is the fifth goal and they've already scored 4 because you can't play defense and you're just giving them puck, what does it matter?
The other one thing too, like just to your point is, everybody's like, oh, bring in Cal. First shot he faces, is fucking Kempe with all the time in the world and rips it home. Like
that was an FU goal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a big FU goal.
Dan, we overreacting or does it make sense?
I think it totally makes sense for the city and for the fan base when you look around the rest of the league and you see Winnipeg was up 2-0 until last night, of course. And then you see Toronto was up 3-0. So Montreal, we'll just forget about that. But I just think that, I think Oiler fans, we expected it. You talked about it too, Bag Milk, like not a lot of car flags around the city right now. It's kind of just, it's a little bit subdued. I know the Detroit Red Wings fan base went through this. Now they had some success to point at, but then they said that, they couldn't draw flies for the first 2 rounds of the playoffs every year because everybody just expected the Western Conference Finals and the Stanley Cup Finals. So yeah, I get it, but I think that it's a little bit overstated. And there's also those people that are just so desperate to be right about Stuart Skinner or the defense. And they are really excited right now.
Yeah. I saw the one guy on Twitter who was like, I hope this team loses so that the media in this city learns a lesson about blindly supporting this front office. And I was like, what's the point of you being like a fan then? Like, what?
Yeah.
I like to cheer for my favorite teams to be bad.
Yeah.
So that I can be right.
Tyler, we overreacted?
I mean, a little bit. It's frustrating to see 12 goals go in. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not. But yeah, like, listen, Vegas is down 2-1 in their series. 1 seed playing the 7 or 2 seed playing the 7 seed or whatever it would be in the West. And like, they now no longer have home ice advantage. Now, again, Oilers didn't have it to start, but like Edmonton hasn't lost at home yet. I'm not going to freak out and panic till they lose at home. They lose tonight, I'll panic and say it's over. But if they don't, I'm saying we're back.
I think the answer is both are correct. Yes. Be mad. I was mad. Although after game 2, admittedly, I turned into chaos where I'm making jokes. That's how I process. Leave me alone. But I also think there's an overreaction. Like there's some people is like, the series is not over after 2 games. It's just not. Mm-hmm. They haven't played at Rogers Place yet. See how it goes. And I know they lost game 7, but the Oilers have also pulled themselves back from a deeper hole to put themselves in a chance to win. So let's just see what happens, I guess. But I'm not telling you not to be mad. Of course you'd be mad.
Of course.
Tyler had money line parlayed with everything the other day. Of course you'd mad.
Rats.
Figs.
And Tyler told me Trent Frederic was going to win the Stanley Cup for us. Yep. So
yeah.
And I said, sorry, my bold predictions
Tyler also
article.
didn't check his medical records though as well. So you've got a couple of things on you.
My bold predictions article on Oilers Nation, which was meant to be vibes-based stuff to get the fan base going. I said Jeff Skinner will be this year's Pisani. Frederic will be a fan favorite and Calvin Pickard won't need to make a start. So
pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty close.
2 for 3 ain't bad.
Reversing the order. Tyler, you're up. This one comes in from Dale. Even though I don't think all 11 goals he allowed were Skinner's fault, ultimately they are his problem as Knoblauch pivots to Pickard for game 3. How much leash would you give Cal in the crease?
He kind of touched on this earlier. Like if they win, he gets a start next game. If they're down 3-0 in the first, I mean, you probably have to yank them. Like, I don't think it's any sort of extraordinary amount of leash, and I don't think it's extremely short either. You just need good goal. If they win, he probably stays in Sunday unless it's 7-6, but I doubt it's going to be 7-6. So like, yeah, he goes till he loses for me.
Dan, how much leash for our pal Cal?
I think Stuart Skinner made it so his leash is an extendable one at this point. I just think that if he wants to run with it, he can. If not, things are going to be reset again on Sunday.
Liam, what's your guess?
Does he have one?
I don't know.
Like, I feel like this guy is just going to be able to run free because we have no choice.
No leash.
No leash. He's a wild hog.
He's an outdoor cat.
I wouldn't.
Yes.
How much leash? I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Pickard is the starter going forward.
Yeah. I don't know what to expect anymore because I truly do not know what Oilers are going to show up on a night-to-night basis.
Couldn't tell you.
This might be the best team in the league. Sorry, Ty.
Against Vancouver, where like they won the first one, lost the second one on the heartbreaking Besser goal, but the second game was only 3-2. They went right back to Stu game 6 with their season on the line. If that were to happen again and it were Pickard and then a 3-2 loss, it's Pickard again game 5, I think. So I agree.
Final question. Start with you, Liam. This one comes in from Nathan. How'd your team do in round 1 of the NFL draft?
They picked a guy. The Lions have been picking well. So I will say.
Well, who did they pick?
I don't know. Williams, I think his name was. Williams or Walker?
Old Willie.
Old Willie, they call him. He was from Ohio State. He's a defensive tackle. And he's big and tall.
Ohio State.
I think that's all wrong. I know he's a defensive tackle. I don't know what school he went to. I don't know how big or wide he is. And I don't know his name. So I'm excited. They have the 20th overall pick. Hopefully he doesn't get injured like every other defensive player did on the Lions last season.
Dan, I don't know you necessarily have a NFL team. You are a Vegas guy, I guess, if you had to pick one. Yep. Thoughts on the NFL draft in any variety?
Well, Waz apparently is currently a fan of the team as well.
Currently the important word there.
Told me that they did answer the phone and did make a pick. He liked it, of course, as is tradition with Waz. He loves everything that his team does in the week that they are his team. So yes, credit to the Oakland Raiders for showing up.
Yeah,
Ashton Genty is who the Raiders picked.
Ashton Genty's loved it. Was excited to love to see Cam Ward lean into that meme. That was really good. But also obligatory.
Max Hairston, cornerback, Kentucky. He was the guy who, as every player was going off the board in the first round, he was running up for them and giving them a big hug like he was their best friend. So seems to be giving good
vibes guy.
Big Bills energy. So yeah.
So he was whispering a percentage into their ear every time.
I did a bit of research.
Go ahead.
My guy's name, I was actually right on a lot of information, which is funny. Tyleek Williams. Mm-hmm. He did go to the Ohio State. He is 6'3", 334 pounds.
Wow.
And his birthday is February 25th.
Just some fucking monsters.
That's a big
I was watching
boy.
that. So I was watching a little bit of the draft last night, and just that's one of my favorite parts is just seeing how huge NFL players can be. They are just massive people.
Wonder how many bananas they can have in a day.
Wow.
So people are like,
more than 11.
He's eating too many bananas.
Shout out to the Vikings for getting into the trenches. Offensive lineman, Donovan Jackson. Could not protect the quarterback worth a shit last year. So hopefully this helps.
Yeah. I think 1 through 32, all good picks until they hit the field. And then one of them's inevitably terrible.
Yes.
Hopefully it's not one of our players.
That's right. The other thing that's interesting too about the NFL is obviously when you're drafting an older player, you kind of have a better idea of what they already are or will be. Do you think, bonus asked its question, there would be any scenario where an NHL would raise the draft age outside of maybe like the McDavids, who are the exceptions?
Frank said on the rundown that this was floated out there the other day and the league just basically shot it down completely. Like it was tabled at whatever meeting and they talked about it and we're like, no. It would be cool because what would be exciting is if the NHL went to a system where like a bunch of players, and maybe it'll happen now that guys are kind of all going to start going to college, where you declare. So if you're 18 and you want to go, declare, come out at 18. But if you're a guy who's, a later round pick, whatever, and you want to wait till you're 20 to declare, because that's when you're going to be ready to actually get a spot in the NHL, all it would do is make draft picks more valuable and make it where like, hey, every team could see their first round pick play the next season, which I think would be good for the league.
Scout Liam, thoughts on raising the draft eligible age?
Yeah, I think it's exciting. I don't think they could do it for like 5 years. I think that's when you would have to do it. They would also have to, I guess what Tyler said is probably fair. You can just decide when you want to come out. Yeah, I would be on board for it. I think the NCAA hockey probably needs to get more popularity for it to work so well. Would be my angle of it too. There needs to be more schools.
Let's talk some betting, gentlemen. Let's make some money. Our friends at Bet365. You want to get on the action of the Stanley Cup Finals? Bet365, they got you. From game props, player props, totals, money line. You can even bet on futures like series winners, conference champs, the Stanley Cup champions, and much more. Whatever you bet, it is never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get in on the game. Official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Please be 19 years old or older and play responsibly. So I'm going to just run through some of the mains. I'm going to ask you guys to find some value for me. All right. That's the task. That's the homework for you. Looking at the mains, the standards, the Oilers are favorited on the money line today. They are minus 140. If you think they are going to blow them out, which I personally do.
I kind of do too.
The puck line is plus 180. That means the Oilers have to win by 2 or more. The over-under is set at 6. If you were going over 6 goals, which I'm feeling frisky based on the little history of the first two, that is minus 115 on the over, minus 105 on the under. Tyler, if you got something let's win some money.
20-1 same gamer.
Okay.
Connor McDavid playing on a line with Leon Draisaitl and Zach Hyman.
Mm-hmm.
McDavid, 2 assists.
Go ahead.
Dry goal, Hyman goal, puck line. 20-1, plus 2,000.
Okay. I'm just looking at Leon Draisaitl anytime goal at plus 130. I feel like that's a reasonable bet to make, given that he scored in the first 2 games. He's also Leon Draisaitl, Rocket Richard trophy winner. Liam, you got anything? Dan, you got anything? Looking for a little value. Also, McDavid anytime goal at plus 150. That has me intrigued as well.
160. No.
Oh, it's moved since I put this together. I love it.
Hyman plus 220 to get a goal.
I like that too.
I like that one too.
It's a good one. I haven't really paid attention to too many of the other shot props recently. Well, Hyman is plus 110 to get over 2.5. Darryl is minus 160 for 1.5. I mean, you would think they can get in on a power play goal tonight, right?
Question mark.
Nurse, by the way, has gone 3+ in both games, and that is paying plus 200.
What's my line for the saves again? Let me have a thing. It's 21.
23.5 tonight.
Yeah, 23.
He's minus 105 at 23.5 for our pal Cal. Minus
Plus
110.
minus. Do we want to go there?
Block shots is always interesting to me. Our boy Jake Wallman, he stands in front of everything. He's minus 170 to get over 1.5.
Yeah.
But Darnell Nurse over 1.5 blocks is plus 120.
Penalty killer. Well, there's
Big minutes.
Going into the box for fun.
Another one, Kulak is even money at over 1.5 blocks. Those guys tend to...
Leon Draisaitl to score 2 goals is plus 800.
Whew. I like that. Maybe
Connor McDavid has been a plus player in 4 of his last 5, and you can get him at plus 125 to be a plus tonight.
We're betting on plus minus. We're really getting in the weeds now. I like it.
That.
I'm into it.
I've never seen that line.
Anything else?
I'm going to go McDavid point tonight on the power play.
What do you got over there? What them odds look?
Plus 130.
I think I might.
Draisaitl plus 135. We got to get one.
I think I might tell you on that.
Right, guys?
I think so.
Right?
I think so.
Right?
You can bet on all kinds of things for our friends at Bet365. Whatever you bet, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get in on the game. The official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Please be 19 years old or older and do play responsibly. Hot and cold performers. Let's wrap it up. Looking back to the last week.
Go.
These are presented. Let me see. We don't have a sponsor for this.
Come to Greta tonight.
We did Greta.
We're going to go do Greta. Another event. Go see Kennedy. Grab some fresh threads from Nation Gear. Tyler, I'm starting with you. Veggies first. As always, cold performer of the week.
No more pom-poms. Oilers are going to orange towels that look very, very basic. I'm disappointed in that. It felt like the pom-poms were our thing. It's something we did that no other team in the league did. Going to the same towels that everyone else does feels kind of like cheapy and whatever. So I am thumbs down on the towels.
Are you thrilled? I'm not.
Tyler's not. Dan, cold performer of the week.
I hear on that one, Tyler. The pom-pom started in 2006 with the energy. Or was it Get Energy? I can't remember. Sorry. Anyways, the slogan that we had that was a little bit ironic for an oil team. Anyways, doesn't matter. It's just my cold performer of the week is going to go to this city. Not hype enough for the start of the playoff run. I get it. I think we have a little bit of fatigue being in the Stanley Cup Finals last year. But the fact that I've gone for 3 pregame runs now and have gotten 0 honks from anybody for wearing my Oilers jersey is devastating to me. So that gets my cold performer of the week.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Liam, cold performer of the week. For our friends at Greta.
Goal performer of the week. Now, this one expands through the past like 3 or 4 weeks for me. I've been watching a show called The Resident. It's one of those doctor shows. The first couple of seasons were awesome. And then 2 of the main characters left at the end of like season 4, start of season 5, somewhere around there. And it just really went bad. And a lot of the storylines just didn't make sense anymore. And I finished it yesterday, the day before, whatever day it was. And the show just ended so abruptly because the ratings were down and it was canceled. So just, the back half of The Resident, not for me.
I'm upset.
First 4 seasons, dive on in. It was great. Rest not so much.
I'm going to the Oilers. I'm just going to say, hey, your special teams, they stinky.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, I mean, if I remember correctly, I'm doing these numbers off the dome. I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, the Oilers have given up more PK goals in the first round through 2 games than they did through the entire run last year.
I believe that's correct, yes.
That is awful. Power play, we need you. Leave tonight. I think this is the night, but still, special teams for the first 2 games. First in the order, let's talk positives. Liam, you're up first. Hop form of the week. Go to Greta.
I got a new bike. So that was great. Good bike. My bike was fine. It wasn't fine. It was really bad. But now I have a new bike and I can ride it and the chain doesn't fall off and I can stand up when I go on hills.
That's big for you.
He's a hot guy.
It's awesome.
If you see him cruising around Sherwood Park.
He's a hot guy.
I'm biking to work.
You bike to work?
I might now that I have a bike.
How long would
That
that
would
take?
take you so long.
It's 40 minutes.
Really?
You can go down you can go through Rundle and then you're on the River Valley. It's not too
Oh,
far.
there's like a trail system. to
Oh,
get
I
there?
thought you'd be having to ride on the. You're on the. You're on the Yellowhead.
Oh, no.
Baseline, riding, ripping up baseline, the middle
You
of
can
the two.
go, if you go past the refineries, is like the back way, and then you're right in the science park, which connects to Rundle, and then you're cruising.
Dan, you're up. Hop form of the week.
My hot performer of the week is going to go to the PWHL, who just announced that they are expanding into Vancouver. I think that's really cool for a league that started out on the East Coast to be heading out onto the West Coast already. Excited to see that for them. Hope that we can see a team in Edmonton in my lifetime. So the PWHL for expanding into Vancouver gets my hot performer of the week.
We the best.
Canucks Army will be covering the PWHL team in Vancouver as well. So if you're looking for some info there, go check out CA. Tyler, hot form of the week.
Jake Thacker, nation citizen who lives in Utah.
Oh yeah.
He had a chance to go to Augusta National and watch the Masters. He won a draw or whatever, got his way there. And he was kind enough to DM me and be like, hey, I know you're a massive golf guy. I know you love the Masters. And you can only get Augusta Masters merch from their pro shop once a year. You can't just order it online, buy it in a store, whatever. So he was nice enough to ship me up this beautiful green hat and a couple other goodies from Augusta National. So Jake Thacker for keeping me fresh.
Major key alert.
Jake and I talk about movies a lot.
Does he also watch them in several parts?
I think he's a one sit down guy. But
Ah.
I did finish Secondhand Lions in 3 sit-ins. Great movie.
There you go.
Would recommend.
sittings. I don't even know that I would remember the first part of the movie if I have to go days later and be like, where am I again?
It was good. It was
Liam
good.
turns every movie into a series. I appreciate that. Hot performer of the week for me is going to be, you know what? Everybody coming out to our events.
Yep.
The results obviously have been poor, but that doesn't mean the vibes at Greta have been. Tyler, even when they came back and tied game 1, place was electric. Going before the game, everybody was buzzing. We were having some gallows humor coming out even in game 2, which ended up being funny. Again, Oilers fans make the best out of things. And the first 2 games have been a very, very good case study.
Joe's barbecue and foot massage. Joe's barbecue and foot massage.
That'd be a good case study.
Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage.
Yeah, that'd be
I think we could all use some.
right now. Barbecue or foot massage?
Both. Both.
I wonder if you get them at the same time, and I wonder if he has the barbecue before he gives you a foot massage.
I want to know, does he give you the barbecue and then the foot massage? Because if he's giving the foot massage and then he gives me barbecue, I've got a problem. Don't fungus up my food.
There's questions.
I got issues.
You would imagine it's a one-man show.
Well, yeah, you can't do it all.
No. That would be crazy.
You know, this is a small operation. All right.
Next nation event.
Next nation event tonight. Reddit. Score prediction. Game 3. Tyler.
6-2 Oilers.
7-2 touchdown. Dan?
4-2 Oilers win.
I think it'll be like 6-4 if the Oilers want to win.
Hell yeah. All right, Dan, you just want to wrap it.
Yeah. The next time we get together, we will have the election will be over. And I just wanted to give a quick reminder to everybody that's listening to this. No matter what team you are going to pick or what team you've been thinking about picking, just encourage you to go out and inform yourself. All of the parties' platforms are available on their websites now. Make sure you inform yourself. And a reminder that if you haven't yet voted, that April the 28th is our election day. And again, by the time you hear us next time, we will have a prime minister selected, and we will be done with all the discourse in this country.
A little breaking news coming out. Just what happened with Nick Cousins last night?
He shot a puck at Anthony Stolarz while Stolarz was standing at center ice during warm-up.
And
Can you not do that?
No.
What's the result?
So
He got fined.
Nick Cousins has been fined $2,083. Now, I don't know what his contract is, but I'm guessing he probably had that in his locker. The Senators, according to Frank Saravalli, have also been fined $25,000 by the NHL. Good thing Jack Maxwell isn't around to see this. He would have hated that fine.
What an absolute joke of a, oh my God.
Did
what an
anything for
experience.
Brandon Hagel?
What did Brandon Hagel do?
Oh my goodness. He almost killed Barkov. Like Barkov did not have the puck. He just came around blindside and headshot him. He got a major, and I don't think anything else has happened.
If you want to,
man, I just saw it.
That is a crazy.
Wow.
The puck was not anywhere near him.
you can go and see the video too of the slap shot of the puck at Stolarz on Daily Faceoff social media.
Holy cow.
It's embarrassing. Both on Daily Faceoffs, actually, they hit as well.
Just to follow up on Dan's point, if you're voting green, just figure it out. Like, you don't have to do that. You're like, there's 3 other parties you could probably just vote for if you're going to consider that one. That's all I would say on the election.
Get out the nerve vote.
I can't.
Liam's not allowed.
Vote for me.
Yeah, write Liam in. Liam for the new prime minister. He's got good ideas.
I would.
A banana in every household.
Banana powered houses.
All right.
Solar panel.
There it is.
Bananas are for money.
Enjoy the Oilers win tonight. If you're going out in the town, get loud. Jersey up. Bring your flags. If you're at Rogers Place, I want to see you screaming your face off. Here's hoping to 2 big wins, and we'll talk to you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend, everybody.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.